Hello, everyone. We'll give people a little bit of time to join the show. So today on the Art of Inspired Selling, I have a special guest that's going to talk about finding resilience in the face of adversity. And as we all know, we have been living in so much adversity lately that I thought it would be really wonderful to bring on in line with what I stand for, which is personal empowerment. My next guest, whose name is Mark Gai. Is that right, Mark? Gai. Okay. So, hello, my name is Kathryn Evans, and I am the host of The Art of Inspired Selling, where I interview successful 6 and 7 figure entrepreneurs who are not just surviving in the new normal or the now normal, but they're actually thriving. I bring this information to you in a long format so that they can actually take the opportunity to have a teachable moment and deliver information to you that you can implement in your business today, or if you're an employee, you can implement it in the strategy that you're doing in your sales field today and in the future. So without further ado, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about our guest, Mark. So Mark is an experienced business coach, keynote speaker, and TEDx speaker. He held a graduate degree in business management and finance. In 2015, in Las Vegas, Nevada, Mark reached the semifinals of the world's largest speech contest sponsored by Toastmasters International. Now, that's pretty impressive right there. His message is focused on sales, storytelling, and influence for leaders. As a business coach, Mark has over 15 years of experience in sales experience in various industries, from residential construction to banking and executive coaching. You can catch up with Mark on his popular leadership podcast called Speak Brave. It has 4.5 out of 5 stars rating on iTunes and reaches international audiences with messages of inspiration and hope, which is what I'm all about. So without further ado, I'm going to bring my next guest on. Mark, let's get rid of your background here. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Kathryn, for having me. Good to join everyone. I hope you're doing well on this U.S. Veterans Day in the United States.
It is Veterans Day, you guys. Happy Veterans Day. I'm so sorry. I'm so caught up in what I'm doing in my business right now that I didn't even say that. So let's just shout out to all the veterans, right? Thank you so much for what you do to our country and for our country and for me and for helping everybody live in a safe, wonderful environment. So thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Yes. So Mark, welcome to the show. Yes. One of the things that I ask, first of all, where are you seated today?
I am seated right now in a state of Florida, or sometimes I affectionately call this the Peninsula of Eternal Sunshine,
yes.
right in the middle of the state. And today we had an unexpected weather hazard, which is still happening right now. So it could be hurricane any minute. It's Hurricane Eta. And it's everyone awoke in Tampa Bay to the threat of hurricane, but hopefully it will be downgraded tropical storm in the next few hours.
Yes, I spent 13 years in Miami, Florida, actually between Palm Beach and Miami. And so I've had my share of hurricanes and hunkering down and watching the walls, have go in and out and water coming in. So it's an experience, definitely. Not everybody likes to go through all the time, but I understand it. Yes.
Absolutely.
And so when the hurricanes come in through Tampa, that's bringing warm water. So they don't come through Tampa that often, right?
Not very often. The biggest one that we actually felt was the Hurricane Irma in 2017.
Okay.
It was in September of 2017. It actually came right across our house. There was no power for about 2 weeks afterwards, maybe 3 weeks, I remember. And there was a lot of damage out of Irma. And then there was hurricanes before that. But that's the one I can remember most recently.
Wonderful. Not wonderful, but wonderful. I'm glad it doesn't hit there that often. All right. So also what I always ask my guests is, what is it that inspires you to do what you do every day and to get up as an entrepreneur and make things happen? Do you have a quote, a book, internal drive? What is it that helps you be inspired to be your best-selling self?
I think this is a great question, and I do think about this quotes. What motivates me, and
Hmm.
is there mentors or some work that I can refer to? One of the best things I have ever heard was coming from Dr. Viktor Frankl, who is an author. I think in
Hmm.
the middle of last century, psychiatrist as well. He wrote a book, "Man's Search for Meaning." I'm sure you are familiar, and many others. He said, "Everything can be taken away from a man, except the very last of human freedoms, to choose our attitude in any set of circumstances, to choose our own way." And I feel that you have a choice, whether it's a threat of a hurricane or sunshine day or anything in between, that you have a choice in. You may not be happy where you are right now, but you have a choice to strive. And I think when you recognize you have that power of choice, that gives me some assurance, believe it or not, to keep moving and keep thriving.
Yes, choice is important. And your from your accent, I'm guessing that you weren't born in the US, were you?
No,
Okay, so we have a choice here, right? A choice every morning to get up and to celebrate Team USA, right? For the land of
every
the
day.
free and the brave. Yes.
Absolutely every day, and today is especially on Veterans Day. I want to join Kathryn in recognizing all of the service men and women who have served and are serving now. So I feel it's truly is remarkable land of opportunity, and I'm just grateful to be here.
All right, so let's get to it. Today we're going to talk about finding resilience in the face of adversity. And so what I had put down is some tips for that, right? We had talked a little bit. Today, you guys, we're going to talk about how to learn to ask for help,
Mhm.
how to build gratitude, which is so important, right? To wake up and to be grateful. And Mark says also that you cannot travel alone. And so we're going to get into all three of those points. I have a PowerPoint slide. If you're listening to this just by audio, I'll go through some of the slides, which are just images. So Mark's words are all going to be delivered from him verbally. So let me just share my slides, and Mark, you can get started with the. Here we go.
Excellent. So, Kathryn putting up the slide, the first one is I have, and I want to harken back to my own life and to
Mm-hmm.
my own experiences because I own this path that I have been on, so I can speak with authority from what I learned and what I have experienced and built. Everyone has a plan, or at least you have a plan. Perhaps you go to college, get some degree, or maybe you go directly into business or any kind of other path. And the plan may include perhaps building a relationship, working in your business, collecting experiences, and you grow within your plan. I would even say a lot of people have the version of American dream,
Mm-hmm.
the perfect spouse, the perfect house, the perfect job, or the career, or the vacation. So there it is. Everyone has a plan, and I also had a plan, and it was working out. I think in a very good way. And then, if we can take a ride in a time machine to 2008, 2007, 2008, and that was the time of Great Recession in the United States. And I was at the time working in the construction industry, actually supporting the construction industry, being a provider. And as you know, the financial market has collapsed, and
Oh, I know really well. I was there. Yes. Yes.
everything has collapsed, as you can see on the next slide. That all of the plans, right now I live in Florida, but at that time I lived in Northeast United States, specifically in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And I felt that I experienced the category 5 hurricane in my life. My business, my relationship, my house, everything just
Yeah.
disappeared.
I can feel you in all of that.
And it it knocks the wind out of you, right? You lose your balance. um I'll be completely transparent. I was homeless. Lost my house, lost everything. It
Mm-hmm.
was just a combination. Like I said, it was a true hurricane. And in that time, when you are in that position, where do you go? And we can go to the next slide. you go within yourself and you try to figure out where in the world, what is my next step. Is there any resources that I can ask for help? Is there any people that I know or anyone I have worked in the past that can perhaps offer me a hand or advice or resource that can that can get me out of that situation? And that's where I found myself, on the couch of a friend without a plan. I thought I had a plan, but there was no plan anymore. There was
Right,
nothing.
we make our plans, and we don't really make plan A and plan B and plan C, right?
That's right.
We make the plan, and things can change and the world can change, and those things are out of our control. And so I agree, and we find ourselves doubting ourselves, right? Why did I do that? What could I have done different? And really getting ourselves into a scarcity mindset, and we forget, even if we've worked before on self-improvement and self-empowerment, we tend to just forget about everything that we learned. It's hard to pull yourself up from that situation.
I agree 100%, because the feeling of now overweights everything that we have experienced in the past.
Mhm.
And the reason I share this story is because it's real. Perhaps you may not have experienced this degree or in that width or breadth of the loss, but
Mhm.
perhaps you have experienced something in your life. And this is just my story, just one little thing that I would like to offer to you. Perhaps there's a hope or some kind of pattern that you can take away. So, my next slide is you have to face the darkness. And this is so uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to talk about, it's uncomfortable to even bring up. But I say, if you find yourself in that position, whatever that position is, there must be a reason. So, I would say instead of falling into further despair, recognize and maybe what can I learn from this? What can I grab? What kind of thinking or mindset can I change to make sure that yes, there is a loss, but
Mhm.
what will this teach me and equip me and empower me perhaps for the next level in my life? So
And people might be experiencing this now, right? I went through it in 2008, you 2009, 10, whatever. This is rinse and repeat that's happening for some people. It really is. So facing that, right? What's the
uh,
worst thing that could happen?
absolutely face the darkness. And it's may be easy for me to put a slide and talk about it, but it's such a intimate, personal, deep conversation you have to have with yourself
Hmm.
and really recognize, okay, here I am. This is what's happening. What can this situation truly teach me? And perhaps you won't be able to ask this question on the first day or even on the first week, but you have to strive to ask this question. And I feel that if you continuously ask this question, you will open up a path out of it, and you will open up a path to make sure that you have
So
resources.
let's get some notes down in the chat here in case people come in and they ask the chat. So, what was the first thing that you said? That you have to face the dark, but you have to, what was it that you said? So I can make a note here.
Well, recognize where you are, right?
Okay.
Just acknowledge where you are. I think everything starts with acknowledgement. So acknowledge where you are. Recognize that this is not the final chapter of your life, hopefully,
Mm-hmm.
or this is not your entire story. It's just a chapter, perhaps a page, or perhaps a story, but it's not the final.
It's a moment in time, right? It's a moment in time that you're experiencing that this too shall pass.
This too shall
The
pass.
storm will go, the eye of the storm might be here, and there might be more at the end, but yeah,
Yeah. You
it'll
know,
pass.
one of the things that I do recognize now is without those experiences that I have experienced,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I can see myself who I am now. With those experiences made me, and I
Yes.
feel that any loss is a badge of growth that you can put on your shoulder or on your chest. So this is it.
And your
I have.
armor, right? Your
I,
ribbon on the
I,
on your armor.
That's right. So this experience is your badge of honor, is your badge of growth that you have experienced it, you survived, And I think it will give you confidence. So when you have a repeat, let's say, I mean, we have a very tumultuous year, 2020, roller coaster
Yes.
of emotions, society, personal, it's up and down. It's truly is a wake up call. One of my mentors have said it was a great pause. I agree, but I think we have emerged into the great awakening. And I think if you have lived through 2008, 2009, and the crises before that, you already cannot see the full road ahead, but you know that you have survived the past and you will survive this, and there's a chance to see opportunity in the midst of chaos, this fog that sometimes we manufacture ourselves or it's manufactured for us, and we can see through.
Yes. And a lot of times coaches and people tend to say to just not be emotionally attached to where you are right now, but to look to the outcome and know that it will happen and work towards that outcome and let go of the emotion of how it might happen. But you really need to get clear, back to your point of a plan. You need to get clear on what it is that you want the outcome to be, or what it is that you're striving for, right? Instead of living in this dark here and now.
Absolutely. So while we face the darkness, we don't want to live there. We don't want to move in. We don't want to set our furniture up there. We just
We want to sleep on our friend's couch, right? With a little
or,
candle.
or just a little bit. I mean, for a day or two, maybe a week. But
Yeah.
it's a start. It's you acknowledge it, and then yes, absolutely, Kathryn. We have to see where we're going and what could be better. And if all of the I feel that every challenge is actually not actually, I think it is a great opportunity. I have seen more opportunity. This is probably 2020 is a once in a generation or in a decade opportunity making event. And I have taken advantage of it in many different ways. A lot of my partners and business associates have as
Mhm.
well. So this is an opportunity. And I think the only way I could see that is because we have come out from the opportunity making events 10 years before or 20 years before.
And I'm in the mastermind group, and yesterday we had our Tuesday call. Yes, it was Tuesday, and two of the women I think in the group said October happened to be the best month of their entire year. So there are people out there that have taken the pivot, taken advantage of it, and they're celebrating this. So why can't that be you?
I want I I see it. I experience it in my own business, in my own life,
Mm-hmm.
in the also in the lives of the people that I work with. It's real. It will ask you to approach your services and the way you provide and interact with your marketplace, perhaps in a different way or
Mm-hmm.
from a different route. But the opportunity is available, and if you take those opportunities, you will grow by leaps and bounds. You will have too much business, I would actually say. This is
So, are you going to talk a little bit about how to take advantage of those opportunities, or what's our next slide? Let's see. Should I go to
uh,
the next one?
please do
Okay. Oh, here you go.
ask for help.
Ask for help.
I feel like this is one of those keystones decisions everyone has to make for themselves. I mean, you had a plan, there was a fall, you
Mm-hmm.
acknowledge the darkness, and now you coming out of that. And I feel that a lot of individuals, myself included, I have always resisted asking for help. There was always this either, and it was not true. The story was untrue that people will not want to help me or will not want to participate with me or even share with me. All of those things were incorrect, and
Yeah,
I have missed out on so much.
it's really seeing the opportunity in the face of challenge, right? And so you are an executive coach, yes, consultant and helping people. They can ask you for help. There's so many people out there that you can ask for help. And I believe ego gets in the way, right? Ego is there knocking on the door, like, you don't need help. You can figure this out on your own. You can't tell anybody that you're down to your last dollar in your savings account or your last dollar in your account. You know what? There's so many people out there willing to mentor for free. If you can't afford a coach, ask for help.
Absolutely. And there's also an art in asking for help and learning how to take no. Okay, not maybe not right now, but there's always opportunity to ask for help. And a lot of times we reject ourselves. We say, okay, I'm not going to ask for help because the other person may be busy or they everyone asking for them. Well, how do you know? Have you asked? Have you actually took the action to pick up the phone or reach out or go where that person is and ask for help? Perhaps the help could be collaboration, could
Yep.
be co-creation, could
Yes.
be
Let me
time.
make some notes here so that people remember these. So remember, it could be a collaboration,
Mhm.
co-creation, you said.
Co-creation, yes,
Okay.
or time sensitive project where you come together for a specific purpose for a week, for a month, for 3 months to I guess build a project or build some type of an idea. So your participation or even your your the way you connect with others and whether you ask them for help in whatever way it is, it's not for the rest of your life. It's just for a period of life. And it could be as
Yes.
short as a week, could be as long as 3 months or maybe a year. And I guarantee that when you come with that attitude of that you're open to contribute, to learn, to grow, that you are curious. You have that mindset of curiosity.
Mhm.
And as you have said, Kathryn, when you can put aside your ego for just a little bit, and the ego could be I'm not good enough, or I'm too good, or
Oh, yeah.
anything in between. If you can put away that for
That
just a minute,
mindset, right?
yeah.
It's a big mindset shift for sure. I have a little echo going on here.
So yes, so that's what it is. So asking for help is an art, and I feel that it is one of those skills that we must have. We must learn how to reach out for help and also understand how we can help others when they reach out for us. Perhaps somebody asking you to write a recommendation on LinkedIn. Take 10 minutes, write that recommendation. You may be the only person that does.
Yep, I'm putting that down. Remember to help others. And
Abs-
that goes into having, maybe it's overused as a servant mindset, a
mhm.
servant meant being a mentor to somebody else and knowing that what you have, your subject matter expertise that got you to where you are today, is something that you can share with the world. That's a gift that you can give to the world and you can help people. So make it clear and be open that you are here to support others.
Absolutely. I feel that you cannot lock yourself in a room, as we have had to this year for a very
Yes.
long time, which I thought was an inflection point. But you cannot do this for the rest of your life, at least not the life that I want to live. Um,
And that's the whole purpose that I have this show, right? Is
yeah.
I wanted to, what could I do to help those people around me? How could I reach out to my network, pull subject matter experts in, mindset, sales, visibility, lead generation? What could I do to pull those people in that are generating revenue to deliver some type of a teachable moment to out to the network? So
Mhm.
all that is just wonderful. Ask for help. What's our next slide here? One of my
All right. So,
favorite games, by the way.
oh, what is this game, Catherine?
Jenga, Kajinga,
Jenga.
Jenga, something like that.
All right, but yes, I'm glad. So you have the reference point for what it is. What I wanted to show and share is that take small steps. Small steps will build a foundation for, I think, fulfillment. And what I have here on the slide is someone who is playing this game, and it's little pieces, right? It's
Yes,
you just carefully place one on top of each other. I mean, you don't have to quickly build it all over like in one
right.
5 minutes. It's not a competition with anyone. It's a process. It's a process that you allow yourself to build something of value to you. Here, I am saying build a ladder of gratitude. And I know gratitude is one of those beautiful words that have entered our consciousness in this country and others that we talk about it, but I can never talk enough about gratitude. Gratitude is a way of life. When I open my eyes, I have gratitude. uh, when I talk to someone like you or anyone I see in my business dealings, I'm grateful for them. So
Yes.
build a ladder of gratitude. And I feel that when you take little steps, I'm grateful for this meal, for this conversation, uh, for this beautiful peninsula of internal sunshine. I think over time, something amazing happens in you. You are building the reservoir of resilience that when somebody is you perceived as rude to you, or you have a rejection, or there is a frustration on a project, or some type of resistance, you have built this beautiful reservoir of resilience, which is built piece by piece in a letter of gratitude. That's why I have it here.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And how about if you're having a bad day and you woke up and you feel like the chips are stacked on the wrong side of this, right? If you slow down and you stop and you go to a place of gratitude and you dig deep and you find gratitude, right? Even as I try to do before I put my feet on the floor, right? What am I grateful for today? Well, I have a face, I have an eye, I'm breathing, I don't have COVID, right? Those are things that can start your day. I'm waking up in a free world. I have blankets, I have a roof over my head, whatever it is. And then if you dig deep, you can continue to find and find and find and find all those things of gratitude. When you were at your low part, Mark, your low point, did you find some continuous mantra that you were using to dig and find your gratitude? Were there mantras that helped pull you out of that darkness that you used? You want to share any of them?
Sure, I'm happy to share. Since we already went this far, why not? Why not share a little more? Yes, absolutely. And I feel grateful that I have quite a few. I do have self-talk that I speak to myself, but also
Mhm.
with my team and with other associates and business partners as well. And one of the things I say is, you know, we can do this, or let's do this, or let's get it. It's always an action-oriented mantra. And I say it repeatedly throughout the day in
Mhm.
various versions. And if you're anything like me, I have a notebook. Actually, have hundreds of them. As a
That's
as
not even an understatement. If I think everybody could see my bookshelf, right? And they're open right here. And then I have my
That's
little
right.
tabs so I can tab and keep track of them. Yes.
And it's something beautiful that I write all the time. I write on behalf of client for their campaigns and for talks and
Mhm.
for different sales scripts as well. But I write for myself as well, and it's always action oriented, and it allows me. So I write and then I speak, and I think my family, they know that they're having a bad day. They can come to me, and I will I will always try to cheer them up. So the mantra is, we can do this. Let's get it. Or some some songs. Actually, I just sing the song. So I will not sing to anyone today, but it's only reserved.
The art of inspired karaoke with Kathryn and Mark. Let's go. Right? No.
that, that would be the best. But I think I'm gonna keep my singing to the shower where it belongs.
Yeah, mine's in the car.
Yeah,
It doesn't even make it to the shower. Somebody could still hear.
if it makes sense. So what I wanted to say is, whatever the mantra that works for you, and write it down. Also, the phone. I always put a lot of one of the most useful features for the phone is a notepad, because I
Hmm.
always write, okay, and there's an idea. If you have heard this from Jack Canfield, he at one point said he said, you only have 37 seconds before the idea leaves you, so you got to grab it, capture it. And also Elizabeth Gilbert, right, she talks about inspiration and creativity. Ideas come and go, you better be able to catch them.
Yes.
They come to you for a reason. They may or may not visit you again, so you better have some kind of capturing device so you can capture it and then build on it, share it with your team, share it with your audience, and also reflect on yourself.
And you really do need people that help you. We're going to talk, I think, about, right? You can't travel alone. People that can help you, though, stay on track. Because I'm a squirrel chaser. And there's always squirrels that run across my desk all day long, and it might knock me off track. So I think the next thing that we're going to talk about, I think you said, is not traveling alone.
Yeah, that would be that. Yeah, we can go back. Yeah, that's it. That not traveling alone. Um, I have learned, and this was a surprise discovery, Kathryn, that you don't have to do everything by yourself. It's more fun to get other people involved. Help them grow as well. You
Hmm.
can take a position of a leader if you'd like. As a leader, there's always people watching us, what we do, how we do it. They're always listening, what we say, how we say it. But there's always someone looking up to us. And for them, you can be that leader in that group. And for them, it could be a transformational experience. And I feel that when I say don't travel alone, I really mean that. Um, you know something I don't. You know somebody I would never meet. And there's no way
Yes.
for us to share in these resources unless we connect, see if there's a chance of collaboration, or just connect for a moment. Maybe there's no expectations of any other engagement, but just connect for here and now.
And
And
that's taking advantage of a social networking platform like where you and I met, which is LinkedIn.
Mhm.
There's people out there that really want to connect and really want to network and build people up and have conversations and maybe test a message that they're working on, not spam or sell, right? I haven't sold a single thing to you at all, right?
That's true.
So it's all about connecting and building somebody up, helping them, pulling them in front of your network, seeing if there's anything that they have to offer to your network. And that is just the art of social selling as well. It's professional networking online. So make sure that you're not spamming people, right? You're
Absolutely. I think we all experience this, and I think perhaps inexperience or overzealous or perhaps uninformed way to inundate someone with information they didn't ask for, and then you push it even further with some information that I really didn't ask for, and now you're pushing it even further, and your chances of closing the sale ultimately are diminishing with those moves. It's very small steps, very small, low risk, the lowest risk, small relevant
small
steps.
commitments.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's absolutely not. It just, I mean, you see it probably on LinkedIn quite often, and it just, I think it's not as effective as people think.
No, not the spamming point, not at all. So let's change the format here a little bit, and Mark, let's talk. You didn't put a slide up here. How can people get in touch with you and tell us a little bit about how you're generating revenue in your business? What it's like to work with you if somebody wants, what kind of what you stand for in your business, so that we can help get your message out to the audience.
Absolutely. One of the biggest revenue drivers in my business is coaching
Okay.
and training of executives and sales teams, and not always sales teams, but also account managers and executives where their sales is not their everyday activity, but they have to be able to present, sell their ideas, sell their messages, sell their products for the contracts and future work. So I have a team, and we prep those teams to make sure that when they present, when they
Mhm.
pitch for multi-million dollar contracts, multi-year type of engagements, they stand head and shoulder above their competition. So my training is very rigorous, it's intense. You asked a very perceptive question. What do I stand for? I stand for integrity. I stand for um, s- you know speaking your truth, but
Mhm.
also coming from a position of integrity. If you are competent, people trust you, there's nothing you cannot achieve. So that's
That's
what
very
I instill
powerful.
in my clients.
Yeah. And so, what is your website so that I can put that here in the show notes if they want to find you?
I'm on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and my website that anyone can use to get in touch with me for conversation is markguy.com.
Oh, that's simple.
Yes, it is. Yes.
I couldn't get the .com from me myself because there is a Kathryn Evans who's a British actress. So
Oh, okay.
I'm competing, with the movie star. So, all right. Well, Mark, I want to thank you so much for coming here. We've had a few questions. We posted them. This was really talk. I'm blurred about my camera. I move too much. I need to learn how to just stand still. This was really a talk about mindset, right? About going through the dark time, about asking for help. And one thing that we didn't say when we said ask for help, you not only need to ask it, but you need to be open for that help when it comes in. Because if you keep knocking on the door of your mentor and you ask for help and you ask for help and they deliver what you're asking for, and they told you to go from A to B to C, and you're like, I don't think I'm going to go A to B to C. Knock, knock, knock. I didn't like that solution you gave me. Do you have another one that might work? Right.
It's
So
an art. Yeah.
you have to be open. You have to align yourself with those people that actually, when they deliver the information to you, you're going to implement it, right? So you need to ask for a mentor or ask for help from someone who's at a place where you want to be in the future, so that when they give that information, you feel confident about implementing it immediately or whatever you're going to do. Because if you keep asking, they're going to quit delivering if you don't implement something.
Absolutely. And I think when you ask someone for help, whether that's in information, resources, time, it's up to you to honor that gift that you receive, some type of
Yes.
action.
Key word right there, gift. And my last guest that we had on here, Marjorie, and she was just live on Facebook. She talked about being thankful and being grateful that the person you asked for that information cared enough about you to deliver it, even if it was a negative piece of information and negative feedback that they gave you, maybe a bit of criticism. You still need to be grateful for that person, that they gave you the time and the feedback, because criticism might not be easy to hand out.
I feel that it is, oh my goodness, such a beautiful thing you said. Negative feedback
Mhm.
may be an assault on your ego, but it's a revenue generating for your business. If everyone told us the truth why they didn't sign the contract or didn't purchase from us, you become a multimillionaire. So if someone cares enough to tell you the truth, that is a special person, a special feedback. Absolutely.
Take it to heart. Write it in your book. All right, so we're going to wrap the show. Mark, any last notes before we end? We know how to get a hold of you. Thank you so much for taking your beautiful time in the middle of a potential hurricane and spending that with me here on the Art of Inspired Selling. Any last minute notes or words of wisdom?
To everyone, I say take more risks wherever you are and see where it takes you.
Okay, that's wonderful. So thank you so much. And everybody, thank you so much for tuning in every Wednesday, 1 p.m. Specific time, 1 p.m. Pacific time, where I bring on successful 6 and 7 figure business owners to deliver information in the area of mindset, sales, lead generation, and visibility. We're here every week on your favorite platform. So stay here, Mark. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next Wednesday.